Well, how are you doing out there on Facebook Live? Thank you so much for joining us today right here from the crossroads of the world in Times Square, New York, and the Nasdaq market site for this installment of the Spotlight Series. We have a fantastic group joining us today from the state of Delaware. So to begin with, we have Colleen Davis, you're Treasurer of the state of Delaware, Carla Sidney Stone, President of World Trade Center Delaware, and Dave Harris, Vice President Commercial Operations with GTUSA Wilmington. Well, everybody, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. So, Colleen, I thought I'd start with you. Since the state of Delaware is represented and you're treasurer, what are the highlights you can tell us about Delaware?
Well, our largest trade is in agriculture. It's one of the biggest parts of our economy, and right now I would say we're most focused on our chicken production, and that's part of what's brought me here today.
So I was going to ask, what does bring you to New York today?
So we're working with the World Trade Organization in Delaware. A lot of what we're trying to do is build some of our infrastructure. That means expanding our port and help to support our economy.
So when it comes to supporting the economy and logistics, and we have more than a few of those partners here at Nasdaq. So Carla, what can you tell us about the Delaware Port? I didn't realize it's as extensive as it is.
Well, World Trade Center Delaware really values the Port of Wilmington because it really is the linchpin for logistics in the mid-Atlantic. It has the largest cold storage of dockside of any port in the United States. It exceeds Houston, exceeds Long Beach. And there's only one stoplight coming out of the port till you get to Canada, Florida, or to Chicago. So that makes it very, very convenient for anybody who wants to ship in or out of the United States. And in addition, it's a very, very specialized port. They handle everything from orange juice to the rockets that go to the space station.
So a lot going on there. Then in terms of the World Trade Center Delaware's interaction with the port, what's your mission and how do you support all of your partners?
Well, the World Trade Center Delaware is a private, not-for-profit organization. We're part of the World Trade Centers Association, which has 328 centers around the world in almost 100 countries. And because of that, we can make connections for businesses. We do a lot of training, trade missions, reverse trade missions. And so we work very, very closely with government and industry, and especially the port, which is our leading international trade and logistics industry.
Amazing. Now, speaking of the port, Dave, I think this is for you. So as Vice President of Commercial Operations, what can you tell us about the hub that is the Port of Wilmington?
Yeah, thanks for asking. Gulftainer is a worldwide company with 15, we own or operate 15 terminals around the world. And Gulftainer USA Wilmington is our newest point of entry in North America. And as Carla said, we partner with not only state and local governance, but also with organizations like the World Trade Center, Chambers of Commerce, and economic development in Delaware. And so with that, we're a catalyst for commerce.
Now, as part of that catalyst, you are the new port operator for the port of, what is it, Wilmington?
Yes. So the Port of Wilmington was state-owned and operated. It's still state-owned, and we are now an operator under a 50-year concession, a partnership with the state of Delaware in order to not only modernize the terminal, but bring new jobs and economic development to the region.
So a lot going on.
A lot going on.
Your partnership.
It's very much a startup feel. Yeah.
Right. And then, Carla, you have some events coming up that you were highlighting as part of your trip to New York, but one coming up in December that you and I were talking about?
Right. You know, we were talking earlier. On December 5th, we're having our gala. And as Colleen said, agriculture is our largest industry, and we're going to focus on agriculture. It's being called a Festival of Food, celebrating Delaware agriculture, and our Secretary of Agriculture will be receiving our Champion of Trade Award because he has really been innovative in helping Delaware companies expand international trade, specifically agriculture. Also, companies and individuals come from all over the world to learn from our very, very ingenious agriculture industry, and he has been a wonderful, wonderful prophet and champion for Delaware's agriculture.
And are you going to be unveiling a 1919 edition of International Delaware?
Yes.
That is?
Yes.
So what can you tell our viewers about that?
International Delaware is our magazine. It's a supplement to Delaware Business Times. And this year we are focusing on agriculture. And it's really a wonderful opportunity for businesses outside of Delaware and inside of Delaware to reach companies around the world. It goes to all of the World Trade Centers, all of the embassies, to many, many trade organizations. Goes out digitally as well as hard copy. And of course reaches almost 10,000 people, readers in Delaware. So it's a wonderful opportunity to reach potential partners, potential buyers, or sellers if you're looking for particular products.
So one of the things, guys, that we love talking about here at Nasdaq is the partnerships between public sector, private, and government. So Colleen, with that in mind, and as the state treasurer, elected official, at the upcoming event, the governor is going to be there?
Correct, that's right.
Well,
one of the unique things that we have in Delaware is we have the bulk of the publicly
here at Nasdaq, we know that. So you're the
Yes, you do.
corporate capital of the world.
We
so you have
are.
the bulk of public companies are domiciled.
That's right, in Delaware. And one of the reasons for that is because of those partnerships. It's because of our knowledge when it comes to corporate governance and corporate law. And it's one of the ways that we help to support the industry as a whole. We're also a AAA rated state, and so we love being able to say that, and we love to talk about some of those partnerships and what that means on the corporate level, and how we help to support commerce overall for nations.
And something that's near and dear to our heart here.
Yeah.
So now, with that in mind, a lot of our viewers out there on Facebook Live, these are viewers, they're sitting in dorm rooms or incubators or at that proverbial kitchen or library table trying to think of starting the next great thing or how to get a career going. What would your advice be for them? We can go right down the line.
Yeah, I was at, I had the pleasure of being a judge at a spelling bee for second graders not that long ago. And I told the
Future
kids,
innovators, right?
exactly, I told the kids who didn't quite make the cut, that you can look toward a future in finance. Spelling may not be your bag, but do not lose hope, because I think the one thing that I would encourage people to, and kids in general, to be looking toward is where their talents are and to push those boundaries.
Absolutely. Carla, what do you think?
I would say learn a foreign language.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter what foreign language it is. It could be anything from Farsi to Bulgarian to Swahili. It doesn't matter, because when you learn a foreign language, you learn about another culture.
Absolutely.
And we don't know what the next big area of trade will be. In the 80s, everybody was learning Japanese. In the 90s, people were learning Chinese. Now people are learning Spanish. It doesn't matter. It will change Russian. It's all different types of languages, because you will begin to immerse yourself in the culture of another people, and you get such wonderful understanding that will help you do trade around the world.
Great advice. Dave, what do you think?
Well, with Thanksgiving coming up, okay, one of the things as a young person that you're asked around the kitchen or dinner table at Thanksgiving is, what do you want to be when you grow up? And that is such a daunting question for an 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old, what have you. The advice that I would give young people is, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You're going to change careers like more than we changed jobs when growing up. So don't be afraid. Don't change for change's sake, but change because you want to dive into something that you love.
Great advice all around. Well, Colleen, Carla, Dave, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on your successful trip to New York and all you have going on in Delaware and the World Trade Center and the port. Look forward to having you back soon.
Thank you.
For everybody out there, thanks so much for joining us today. We'll see you next time.